Welcome. In this video, we will be discussing about the Open Skies Treaty. So now this topic is specifically important for your GS paper 2 where we talk about the international relationship. So this is the subject matter or this topic specifically relates to your international relation. So basically, Open Sky Treaty is a treaty which was in picture and recently what is the context that Russia has decided to move out of it. So this is the thing, Russia has decided to move out of the Open Sky Treaty and the US in last year US also walked out. So basically now there is a lot of speculation that how this treaty is going to hold on, where the two major powers US and US both have decided to walk out of this treaty. So this is the context in which we will discuss about this particular topic. For your examination point of view, what you have to understand it, what exactly is its mandate, what this treaty is all about, who all are included in its member, and its significance in the present geopolitical scenario. So let's start. So it is an accord between over 30 countries. So just remember, now there are 30 plus countries which have signed the Open Skies Treaty that allows participants to fly unarmed reconnaissance flights over any part of their fellow members' state. So all these members, like 30 plus members who have signed this treaty, what does it basically means that the unarmed reconnaissance flight, the member nation could fly over them. So this is basically an idea to gain perspective or to gain insight what is going on the other country. That is something which is mandated under the Open Skies Treaty. It was first proposed in 1955 by the US President Eisenhower as a mean to de-escalate the tensions during the Cold War. So during the 1955, just after the Second World War, we know that what the world experienced was the Cold War, specifically between US and USSR. So during that time, Eisenhower was the one who actually suggested the policy that the Open Skies Treaty should come into picture. The landmark treaty was eventually signed in 1992, but if you see, it took almost a lot of years when the treaty was finally signed between NATO members and the former Warsaw Pact countries following the demise of Soviet Union. So only after the USSR disintegration was this treaty was able to sign. If you understand the historical significance is most along the line that after the disintegration of USSR, Open Skies Treaty was signed in 1992. And what does this treaty does? Consider for an example that US want to send a plane to the Russia to just take an image, a snapshot of like where their military installment is and all this thing. So being a member of this particular treaty, the US can actually send their unarmed reconnaissance flight. So this is the whole idea behind the Open Skies Treaty. It went into effect after 10 years and had signatories including key player US and Russia along with one non-rectified member. So Kyrgyzstan, which is a Central Asian country, go in your atlas and check the location of Kyrgyzstan. So it is a Central Asian country. It has not ratified it, which means even after signing, it has not had any rule in its national dossier, where could means that it is following the Open Skies Treaty. So this is how the little bit historical detail about the treaty. Now let's just quickly see the features of the treaty. So under the treaty, a member state can spy on any part of the host nation with the latest consent. So consent is a very important, that if for an example US is sending a plane to spy on Russia, it has to take the consent from Russia. A country can undertake aerial imaging over the host state after giving notice 72 hours before. So this is the time limit, let at least 72 hours before they have to give the notice, and share its exact flight path 24 hours before. So whatever, which all area you will cover, what will be the exact flight path you have to mention to the host country. The information gathered, such as on troop movements, military exercises, missile deployments, has to be shared with all member states. Now, this is also important. So, for an example, it is the US plane which actually went into Russia and did the spying. But once under this treaty, what it exactly means under the Skies Treaty is that all the 30 plus members will get the information. So this is again a feature of this treaty. Only approved imaging equipment is permitted on the surveillance flight, and officials from the host state can also stay on board throughout the planned journey. So this is again something they could, like for in this case, Russia could have one person on the crew who is like going along with the US plane on the journey. So this is how it is actually required, that even though the spying or the unarmed reconnaissance is allowed, it is not unchecked. The host country has the, first of all, it has to give the consent, then it has to know the exact flight path, as well as it could also check what kind of equipments they are using and can have one person on board. So this is how it is actually designed. So this is major features from the treaty. Now let's just quickly see that how the what happened under the Open Skies Treaty. So a state can conduct short notice unarmed observation flight to collect images of each country's military activities and installation. The transparency created by the agreement increasing stability throughout the Euro-Atlantic region. So if you see, it is actually the maximum is your NATO allies. Since 2002, there have been around 1,426 open skies flights. The US has conducted 500 overflights, primarily over Russia. Today, there are 34 state parties to Open Skies Treaty, including US, Russia, Canada, and most of the Europe. But as of now, as of 2021, what we are seeing, US has walked out and so is Russia. So the major power who were actually involved in over this particular Open Skies Treaty have moved out. So now it's more along the line, is it any more even relevant? So all these things are part of consideration from the geopolitical point of view. Keep an eye on whether this treaty is now doing any kind of good to other member, or is there any productive result coming out of it or not, after the US and Russia now both have started to move out. Another thing for you to do is that think about the New START treaty also, which is again between US and Russia. It basically about how to manage the your missiles. How to manage the missile is under the New START treaty, which is between US and Russia. Russia walking out of Open Skies Treaty also give a lot of scope now whether the New START treaty will holds up or not, which is going to be its term is going to expire in Feb 2021. So even though now the Joe Biden administration would be there in US, it is yet to be seen what happens to the New START treaty. So again, this is a topic you need to keep an eye on as and when the current affair came in. So I hope you understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.